Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now, Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 013555522 and NMLS number 236574.
Hello, namaste, and welcome Radio Zindagi listeners. I'm RJ Renuka, and happy Holi. Wish you a very, very happy Holi.
Happy Holi, everyone.
Hey, we have exciting show coming up with Amit Inamdar. You are going to get the power-packed 30 minutes of information on buyer's remorse and how to avoid it. We always welcome you to call us at 510-770-1550 to ask a question on the radio. However, if you are unable to get in, you can always submit a question for a personal response. Just go to Amit's website, ownsweethome.net, and click on the radio show link to submit your question. Hey, and you can always find Amit Inamdar just by searching his name on Google. Hello, Amit, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Renuka, and happy Holi, all the friends and listeners. Hello, Own Sweet Home, and welcome to my show, Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. Today, we are going to talk about buyers, home buyers who get cold feet, who regret their decision to buy a home. We will find ways on how to prepare for an exciting home ownership journey rather than regrets. First of all, it is completely normal to be worried about a big purchase such as a home. Even stress is normal. Buyer's remorse can truly dampen your mood. However, if you learn about the process so all anxiety is taken away from the home buying equation, you will experience true joy. When you have someone like me who educates you on the home buying process, answers all your doubts and connects you with the experts to have your worries addressed, you build confidence in the home buying process as well as your decisions.
So, Amit, you always talk about education, and talking about educating the home buyers, you have hosted a free first-time home buyer webinar, and that is available on your website currently.
Yes, Renuka. This is an hour-long discussion on loan qualification, home buyer requirements, what to buy, what not to buy, how to select neighborhoods, real estate purchase contracts, contract negotiations, and home pricing. The webinar lasted about one full hour, and 45 minutes of that is basically actual information, and around 15 minutes of it is question and answer. So that webinar, of course, the recorded one, is on my website and can be accessed by anyone who plans to invest their money in a home purchase. Knowing about the things and situation you did not know before helps prepare for the unknown. Addressing the uncertainty upfront and knowing your options builds confidence in your decisions.
That is good that you have a webinar accessible on your website. So if you are a home buyer and want to hear the recording of the recent webinar, just visit ownsweethome.net and get the instant access. Yes, and this webinar is free. It's easily accessible online on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net. If you want to learn about current market and home buying, you can view the first-time home buyer webinar. If you are a first-time home buyer or just want to feel comfortable with the home buying process, do visit the website and listen to the recorded webinar. This will not only give you the overview of the buying process, it will also pre-qualify you, let you know more about neighborhood selections, school selections, etc. Link is located as an image on the left column on Amit's homepage, ownsweethome.net. You cannot miss it. If you do not remember the website, just Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will get to his website. After you have viewed the webinar, all your questions may have been answered and you will have new questions. This is when you can have one-on-one meeting with Amit for your loan pre-approval and neighborhood selection. And this meeting is free. And listeners, if you want to talk to Amit right now, studio number 510-770-1550, 770-1550.
Yes, and when we meet, that's going to be the true power hour with me, one-on-one. And thank you, Renuka, for letting the listeners know about the webinar. Today we've been talking about the remorse during the home buying. It can also happen after home buying. Remorse is a common feeling during and after the process unless you are well prepared. There are hundreds of questions that run through buyer's mind at each stage of the transaction. Will I be able to make the payments? What happens if I lose my job? What should I have my spouse on the loan or just on the title? Should I spend money on inspections? What if more inspections are needed? How much am I spending before even I own the home? Most of these are very common questions. Discussions with me and viewing the webinar should clear most of these worries. However, the questions I ask yourself as a home buyer in remorse is: Are there true reasons for the concern, or is it just the case of home buyer remorse? So if you have a true concern, definitely it will get addressed. But if you just have a remorse, we need to educate yourself to make sure it doesn't happen.
Amit, the questions that you just asked, those are really, really scary questions. So how does one enter the real estate market with confidence?
Right. So preparation is always a key. So we sit down and we prepare a needs and wants list. Buyer needs are non-negotiable. The wants are desires that can be managed, and then there are items that are nice to have. So when you are in contract with a seller and get those feeling of remorse, we go back to the needs list and ask, does this home satisfy my needs list? What are the unique features of the home that make this home different than the others? Is that a desirable feature? Or are these desirable features? How many homes that you saw that you liked, and if this home was good enough to write an offer and get it accepted, what changed during the remorse process? Let's say you decide to back out of the contract. What are your chances that you will find a home that is better than what you currently have? And something you liked few days ago, now you don't. So what changed in your mind, in your requirements? So, was that a poor choice because of your needs are not met? Then I understand that. However, if it is just the unfounded fear, we need to address that right then and there so you don't lose on a good home.
Wow, what a systematic approach, Amit, to make sure your decisions are the sound ones, whatever you make.
Absolutely.
And listeners, we are talking with Amit Inamdar, and Amit is talking about buyer's remorse and how to avoid it. If you have any questions, you can call Amit 510-770-1550, 770-1550.
And when I meet with you as a home buyer, I ask you many thought-provoking questions to truly understand what's important to you about buying the home. Because what is important to you is important to me. I lead you through the process of clarifying your values. Because when your values are clear, your choices are easy. And you want to make good, easy choices. Do you not? Because I'm your consultant, one of the things I do for you is appropriately define the problem we encounter during our transaction, because you need to differentiate essential objectives from less relevant concerns. And once you are aware of less relevant concerns, they do not cause the buyer's remorse. Looks like we have a caller. Hello, you're on the air. This is Amit. How can I help?
Hey Amit, my name is Rakesh.
Hello Rakesh, how are you today?
Hey, doing good, how are you?
Good, happy Holi.
Thank you, same to you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I was listening to your show. I have a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
So the first question is there any difference does it make to buy a house after getting a residency versus being a non-resident buying a house?
All right. So the first thing is the lenders look at this 2-2-2 rule. They want you to have 2 years of residency in the U.S. They want to have 2 years of job, and they want you to have 2 years of credit history in the U.S. And
Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, those are like main things. Now, I always say that you always buy a home today, because if the rates go up, you made a good decision because your payment is going to be low, and if the rates go down, you refinance. So the thing is, even if you are a non-resident and if you have a good amount of down payment, there are loans available for the non-residents or foreign nationals who can also buy this home, and there is an alternative credit some lenders use which will allow you to buy the home. And you said you have one more question, or that was it?
Yes. The second question is about the down payment. Is there any specific percent of down payment we need to pay, or it depends on the credit history?
There is something called an FHA loan, which is the Federal Housing Administration insured loans. And when the lenders give those loans, those are available for people with low credit scores, like down to 580. Okay? So you really don't need a very high credit score to get those loans. Now, those loans are available with 3.5% down payment at the same time. Okay? So, but then the limit on the loan is 625,500. So if you are looking for a home with 3.5% down, you're probably looking at a home of around 640, 650 range to cover for this 625K loan. So that's on the low side. And then, of course, on the high side, you can go different ways. And the lower the down payment, the higher the risk lender takes. And they are going to charge you in terms of mortgage insurance, the higher rates, and you're going to pay for that. So, but look at it this way. I've had clients who chose not to buy last year, and this year they are realizing they should have bought last year irrespective of whatever they thought, because the prices have gone up, and I expect the prices to go up again. And there is another client of mine who ended up buying something just because he wanted to buy. Now he's selling that because the price has gone up, and buying a home that he really likes this year using the money from that home. So it's always a good idea to buy today, especially in this rising market, and then the affordability numbers are pretty high in the 40% range.
Got it.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
So, Amit, before the question, you talked about clarifying the values of the buyers and then getting deeper into the conversation and figuring out exactly what their needs are. So, all of this comes from years and years of experience.
Right. Yeah, and we completed, 14 years today? And the Own Sweet Home was founded almost 14 years ago in 2001. And so it's a great feeling to kind of having been able to help so many people in the last 14 years. And yes, absolutely. And that's the knowledge and the experience now has combined to even make everybody like the happily ever after club members, All right.
So that's your real estate and mortgage experience.
Yes,
14 years plus.
Absolutely. So, and over the years, I've dealt with the buyers from various backgrounds. Many clients end up sharing a lot of information, and that helps me guide them through the confusing path. I'm sure if someone has a concern, I have already addressed it before. I mean, that's how much variety I have seen in last 14 years. I have also seen situations where buyer will bring their friends to make a decision for them. One of my buyers lost a good home that went up in value over $50,000 after the friend did not get the good vibe in the property. Figure that out. I'm sure the friend meant well. However, the buyer lost the home for no logical reason. Another time, when I was representing the seller, the buyer decided not to deposit the earnest money deposit since they thought they were paying too high for the property, and we had to select the second buyer in line, which was equally qualified and ended up was willing to even bid higher just to get an opportunity to own the house.
So, at what stages of the purchase buyer remorse actually or may peak in?
Right. Well, until the offer is accepted, the buyer is okay. Once the offer gets accepted, the anxiety sets in. First and foremost, people say, "Oh, what's going to happen? What are the next steps?" And I have a detailed spreadsheet, that actually a timeline spreadsheet that kind of tells you what to expect in next 30 days or 25 days of the transaction. First and foremost is the 3% deposit money has to be sent to the escrow, which is the earnest money deposit. And today's contract calls for electronic way of transferring, and the old contracts people actually give the copies of the check and things like that. I have seen buyers giving the checks that have bounced since they were not sure what they wanted to do about a week later. Then the escrow calls us and indicates what has happened. Buyer not only wasted their time, but in this process they wasted the time of everyone involved. Even the seller lost the time in the market. To have the property come back on the market means more work for the seller and seller's agent. Also, the other buyers start worrying about the property coming back on the market. The gossip may start about the property for no logical reason. And the next stage, of course, for remorse is the inspections, Renuka. And when the inspections are performed, the property condition is revealed, and buyer may get scared depending on the level of damage. Lot of times the words like dry rot, drywood termites, the subterranean termites, mold, fungus, roof leaks may scare the buyer. However, at these stages, buyer really requires the support from an expert like me, where we discuss about the repairs that are of high cost and must be done. So we do prioritizations. Other repairs may not require immediate attention. We actually talk to the inspectors and figure out the cost. Once those are known, irrespective of the damage, the common negotiation currency between buyer and seller is the dollars that it costs to make the repairs.
You want to take a break, or you just want to continue?
No, we can take a break. So let's.
We'll be right back.
Have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He is both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is ownsweethome.net. DRE number 013-55522 NMLS 236574.
Own Sweet Home.
Hey,
Own
welcome
Sweet
back, friends. This is Amit Inamdar, and if you are in the market to sell, buy, or finance your home, you will get unbiased advice that will save you money. And that is my promise to you. To get hold of me, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will know ways to find me. Having all your questions answered at one location and by one person means saving time, money, and having the peace of mind that you are cared for by someone like me who knows this business. Today we are talking about remedies for home buyers' remorse. So if you have any questions about real estate and mortgage, meantime, do call the studio number 510-770-1550.
So, Amit, earlier you were telling me about the times the remorse kicks in.
Right.
You want to continue on that?
Yes. So we're discussing the stages of the purchase contract that creates feeling of remorse. Next one, of course, is the appraisal report. If the appraisal comes in lower than the value you are actually offering to the seller, it starts to hit you that you are overpaying for the home, and sometimes even you start thinking about backing out. What I have seen when I analyze the multiple offers and let's say 15 to 20 offers, and there are 3 to 5 offers typically are in the top range. Remaining are reasonably close to the asking price. Since the seller selects the best offer in price and terms, that eventually becomes the market value of the next home that comes on the market. So now the next stage of remorse might actually be the loan. What if the rates climb during the investigation period and you are not locked? Paying higher on a mortgage may set in these feelings. Even in opposite scenario, when you lock thinking you have a good rate and the rates fall, again the remorse may set in. You not only have remorse about home buying, but now also have a remorse about home financing.
So, Amit, how does one overcome these feelings?
Right, and that's the key part, right? So it's not about overcoming these feelings, however, not having these feelings in the first place itself, and to get there you have to educate yourself and know that these type of things may happen in the contract, and what you need to go back to the drawing board about your needs and wants, like I told you before. And that is where, again, my advice comes into play. Together, we look at various scenarios up front, very objectively. Also, I previously spoke about process of clarifying the values. What is the real reason you are buying the home? Ask yourself this question multiple times, and answer you will get from your heart will guide you to make the right decision. One of my initial consultations, client looked at the process of why home prices climb and was comfortable entering the market and bid within his capacity. He is now 50K up in the home price for himself just in the matter of a month. So rather than suppressing the feelings of buyer's remorse, you educate yourself on the various aspects of the home buying, and the real estate sets you free.
Listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate and loans, studio number 510-770-1550, 770-1550. Amit, you talked about a buyer who lost a home because his friends did not get a good vibe in the property. So people do have influence from their family and friends.
Yeah, of course. I mean, family and friends play a big role. When you buy a home, you want your friends and family to know. So you are going to discuss with friends and family, and they are going to pitch in. They are going to share their experiences, their stories, their advice. They usually mean well. And it is not uncommon for them to question your choice and the price you paid for it, especially when you are buying your first home and they are the pros because they already own one. I was reading the post on LinkedIn this morning. It said, listen to the advice from everyone who doesn't want to give their 2 cents, right? However, take the advice of an expert. I've seen many of my clients who want to keep their home buying a secret for obvious reasons. I remember one time we had one of the buyers got 6 of his family friends to the home even before making an offer. Guess among all those often confusing advice that he got, and he did bid, but he did not get even accepted. He learned a lesson, and next time he focused on his family needs and what was important to him and his family about home buying.
So Amit, there are a lot of questions that have been answered on your first time home buyer webinar, which is available on your website, ownsweethome.net. So if you are a first time home buyer, you should watch that webinar.
Absolutely. And the whole idea about, I used to initially spend, almost hour and a half going through that same information, but realized this is a common thread among all the first-time home buyers, and that's why I basically decided to have a recorded information. So when we meet, it is more focused on you and your needs and your wants rather than giving you generic information.
So any final thoughts, Amit?
Sure. So it's possible that in the rush of decision making, one makes a poor choice and forgets their needs when buying the home. It's also possible that the investigations show a lot more damage to the home than you bargained for. Therefore, we have a cancellation clauses in the contract, and they can be used to protect your investment. I encourage you to go to my website, listen to the 1-hour webinar filled with information on home buying and loan pre-qualification. This will give you a complete overview of the home buying process and the history of the housing markets and home ownerships. After you are done with the webinar, I sit down with you on one-on-one meeting to go over your wants and needs and also the process of clarifying your values. Because once your values are clear, your choices are easy. For those of you who have not looked at my video about market predictions, that's also available on my website, ownsweethome.net, and it's also in the blog section. And as far as 2015 is concerned, it's going to be same as 2014, the market going up. However, there is a caveat that says if the rates hit 5% range, this market is going to slow down. So while the rates are low, jump in.
Listeners, if you want to buy, understand the urgency of prices going up even further. Call Amit for one-on-one consultation. If you are a seller, this is a great time to sell. Many times we forget to sell on timely basis because we have good feelings about the increased valuations. If you are buying a second home and selling current, Amit's loan and mortgage knowledge guides you in a right direction to save you money. Homeowners who upgrade have a decision to make, to sell first or to buy first. Do you qualify to buy both homes? If you are a first-time home buyer, decision is relatively easy. Whatever your situation is, call Amit today so he can get all ducks in a row for smooth journey ahead. He will help you get your home and finances in order so you can execute the plan you develop together. Home sellers, let's select the strongest buyer for your home and also prepare for the strongest possible offer you can make on your new home. Knowing your options always helps. As you know, to get hold of Amit, just Google his name, Amit Inamdar, Real Estate and Mortgage Broker, and you will know ways to find him.
Thank you, Renuka, and thank you, listeners. Happy Holi and enjoy your weekend.
Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now. Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 013555522 and NMLS number 236574.